What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Taurus. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Cause it's General Energy Weekly Spread. I tell you, Taurus, I've been telling the other signs, I just been having just a ball with all these dance moves and stuff. I'm gonna have to I have to get like a disco ball or something. That would be exciting. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Taurus. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Thank you. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching Taurus, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd really enjoy them. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, and look at that. We got a little Libra in the mix here, because you got the fifth card of Libras, which is the book burning card. And with this card, this is a card of censorship, silencing, control, discord, canceled, persecute, suffocate, destroyed heritage, limiting freedom, constraint, rewrite history, mind games, and changing the narrative. And the energy that's coming through here, Taurus, is the discord. And if things have been feeling just not in harmony as of late, maybe we've had some discord, maybe, this can maybe either be in some sort of relationship that we might be in, we're noticing some dissonance there, or maybe there's something with maybe we even live in like a chaotic environment, possibly. Maybe there's a lot of noise, or maybe even like a lot of, because yours is a sign, I feel, you're a sensual sign, and I feel like your senses are more acute than the other signs, and I feel that, if there are things that, again, like loud noises or maybe strong odors, maybe a lot of bright lights even, something along those lines. If we find ourselves that we're not in this state of comfort in things along those lines, I feel like it's trying to figure out what we can do to kind of change this up, because maybe for example, maybe we live in like this, the city is like the best example that I can think of, and where maybe we have stuff for work there and things, is just like where, yes, we want that financial security and stuff and all that is important and things, be able to pay the bills, but is it really worth the sacrifice of your, of just like your peace of mind and things? Because where if something like, let's say, like your physical stuff is like out of balance here, that's going to throw your mental out of balance, your spirituality out of balance, and that's even going to affect your work long-term, Taurus. But that's just one example, or, maybe we just live around, like maybe we have some roommates or something, and then there's just like this, there's not that flow, you tend to just maybe run into arguments, or maybe there's just like tend to leave a mess all over the place, or however this may be translating into your situation, Taurus. I feel like it's like, what can we do to try to bring the most sense of balance? And we may need to, and where it can be a little uncomfortable, throwing ourselves out of, let's say, for example, if we need to move, that can be a pain, having to do, because listen, I've moved a whole bunch, and yeah, that can be it could be a hassle, but we got to think about, sure, that maybe uncomfortable in the short term, but we got to think about the long term gains as well, you know. And I feel like that's something too, you know, thinking about the fact that Jupiter's in your sign right now. That's a big one, you know. It's like finding that security in, you know, that long term security and things that are gonna keep you in a just in a peaceful state of mind and just in a peaceful state just in general, Taurus. But let's get some tarot and get some details on this. All right, Taurus. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here. All right, Taurus. So you have the Moon, the Queen of Pentacles, and then the Two of Swords in reverse, and then you have the Eight of Wands upright. And let's talk about the Eight of Wands first, because I feel that, again, if we've, you know, if things have been feeling out of balance or just haven't been feeling in harmony, you know, we might need to start making a move. You know, these signs of discomfort and things, those are indicators from higher self. It's just like, hey, we need to make a move, you know, like this. And I feel like, you know, with the moon being here, it's one of those things that we do realize, Taurus. It's not that I don't feel like that. You know when things aren't feeling in balance, but it just might be that with the Two of Swords being in reverse here, we're just like, I don't know, it feels like we're in our head a lot about it. It's just like maybe we're just kind of like trying to wait this out, you know. Maybe it's like, well, let's say, for example, if it's a roommate thing, you know, maybe they'll eventually move out, or, you know, maybe if this is like, however this is, I feel like it's just like we're trying to be patient or something along those lines, trying to wait it out. But you know, I feel like that's going to drain from your just drain you, Taurus, because with the Pentacles, they don't deal with like finances. This can deal with your health, this can deal with your manifestation, and it's just going to keep you from being able to produce your good work, you know, and to really be able to operate at your best here and really tap into your resources there. But yeah, I feel, and I just really feel with the moon that where if you were to make this move and just kind of make, you know, journey into the unknown, we may not know exactly where we're going to do or how we're going to do it, but I feel that it's like once you set your mind to something, the messages become clear and the path will start clearing ways for you, but we just have to take some action. I feel like with the Eight of Wands here, but let me get a little bit more with this Two of Wands. Because maybe this could be something, for example, I'm just thinking with like a roommate thing, maybe we've signed into a lease and we can't seem to get out of this, but maybe we can find someone to sublease for us, for example. You know, I feel like there's more resources I feel like available to you than you may realize, Taurus, but let's get a little bit more on that. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Taurus. All right, Taurus. So the Two of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Wands here. And I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, this is one of your cards. This is the moon in Taurus. And that's a very harmonious placement for the moon to be. And I feel like it's about, again, finding this place of balance. And, you know, with the Knight of Wands, let's take action. You know, you have the fuel that you need, this discord, this chaos, this disorder. And, you know, I almost feel like for some with the Seven of Wands here is that maybe we may be kind of criticizing ourselves. It's just like, well, you know what, maybe I can like, I don't know, it's like maybe we're telling ourselves that that we just need to kind of suck it up, or that we need to just kind of deal with it, or maybe this is something where we've talked with people about this stuff and they may be like, well, Taurus, like, come on, it's like you're living in, like, sure, there may be this one thing, but like nowhere is perfect and whatnot, but, and we're sure, that may be the case, but that doesn't mean that we have to sacrifice our happiness for that as well, you know, because after the moon is the sun, and I feel that it's easy for someone else to say that to kind of suck it up and things along those lines when they're not in that situation. But when you have to like live through that every day, depending on what this is, then it's tough. And I'm even just kind of thinking too, because maybe this could be something where this is like a relationship, for example, and maybe we're in some sort of like marriage and things have just, maybe we've talked about this, and we're kind of at our wits end, but people are saying like, that's the perks, that's the thing about relationships. You got to tough it out. It's about compromise, but I feel like there is a limit. You know what I mean? There is how much we're willing to give, and if you've hit your limit, then you got to do what you got to do, Taurus. And I know that can be, and this is not something to say, it's a judgment-free zone, Taurus. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's just something to kind of ruminate on. Just like how much is too much. You know what I mean? What? All right, Taurus. All right, let's see. Get this stuff organized here. Let's get another oracle on the mix. Thank you. All right, Taurus. So you got the 8th card of Leo's here, which is the hot air balloon. And with this card, this is a card of balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rise above, don't resist, new perspective, untouchable, defying gravity, continuous flow, ascension, view, elevate, and feeling good. And the energy that's coming through here, Taurus, is the freedom. And that's what I kind of feel like. And again, it's like I don't feel like I'm telling you something you don't already know. I feel that with this energy, that if we were to make this move, it's like I feel like a weight would lift off of our shoulders here. And you know what? Maybe for some, maybe the reason we're not making this move is that maybe it's like we've made this choice, and now we're worried that what's like, what if we go from one situation and get to something in another, or get into like a similar type of thing there. But I don't know, Taurus. I feel like it's one of those things that you got to trust your intuition, because I feel like with the 2 of Swords, again, being in reverse, it's like we're thinking too much about this thing. It's just we're just kind of oscillating back and forth, and that kind of stress, and to be under that state of just kind of pressure and anxiety all the time. I'm even kind of getting with the 8 of Wands. It wanes down, or it wears you down over time, and it restricts your ability to really kind of tap into your manifestation, and it affects your health, and it does all of these sort of negative things. And I do feel like it's just like once we make this decision, I feel like there will be this sense of relief that will come from this. But let me get some tarot on this, Taurus, and get some details with it. Thank you. I'm going to try to see what's going on here. Interesting. All right, Taurus, so you have the Queen of Wands and the 3 of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Devil upright here. And I feel like, let's talk about the Devil. Because I feel like with the Devil here, I do feel like that I'm almost kind of getting, for some, it's like not necessarily that we deserve to be in this, but kind of. It's almost like we feel that it's like we've made this choice, and now we're just like we don't want to do anything that's, and I get that. It's like we don't want to. I almost feel like that. It's like we feel that that if we make this move, that is going to be impulsive. That there's not going to be any kind of growth. It's like we're in a very kind of limiting view point. I feel like right now with the devil being here, and I might need to get a little bit more on him, but with the Queen of Wands being here, I just feel that being in this state is just like some of us, we sort of lost that fire. We've kind of lost some of that oomph, or that zest or something along those lines. It's like we're not our normal selves. I feel like with the like our fun sort of selves here. It's just like I feel like that it's just like we don't see how we can possibly get out of this, and see how we can maybe I don't know, it's just like the options I feel like are just kind of limited here. Just the energy feels really low. We haven't been feeling maybe as inspired as of late. Maybe we haven't been getting any sort of like even like sleep. I'm even possibly getting with this energy here, but I almost feel like even with like the Three of Wands here, there may be a need to maybe just kind of, if we can't, let's say for however this is, we may feel trapped. Maybe we need to just maybe take a little getaway, possibly. I don't feel like you need to do anything expensive. Maybe just like going for maybe like a nature retreat, or maybe just kind of walking around and just like, or something, getting out in nature, or just getting out of that environment and really kind of ruminating, and then maybe even like journaling this stuff down, figuring out like what are some options that we can do to get out of this, or something along those lines, Taurus. But let me get a little bit more on the devil. Because I'm even thinking too, because both the devil and the Queen of Pentacles are Capricorn energy, and I feel this is something where it's going to take some work to get through this thing, but it's not to say it's not impossible to do this. It's where there's a will, there's a way, but right now I feel like the will is not there, It's just like we've been, almost feel this sense of defeat or something like that, but thank you. Alright, Taurus, let's see what's going on here. And there you are, Taurus. Interesting. And Libra's here. So you have the Justice card in the Hierophant upright, and then you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. And that's interesting, Taurus. Because with the Ten of Cups here, it's just like we're not feeling fulfilled. We're not feeling this sense of happiness. I feel this is definitely not where we pictured kind of life being. And I'm really kind of just strongly getting with the Justice card here. There's this sense of needing to get balance, but I almost feel like too, it's like asking ourselves, how did we get to this point? I feel like there may have been, and not to say that it's like that, it's not that you didn't, it's almost paying attention. It's like really being present, I'm kind of feeling, with both the Hierophant and the Justice card being here, and paying attention to how these situations have affected you, because I'm also kind of getting with the Hierophant too, that there's almost a stubbornness that's coming through here, but not in like what you think. I feel that it's just like we feel that we have to, again, like maybe kind of tough this out or something along those lines, that things will get better. But I feel like things aren't going to get better until we start taking action, until we start changing, start doing stuff to change the balance here. and get back to this sense of harmony and stuff like that, Taurus. Like, really kind of think about you in the grand scheme of this thing, you know. But yeah, I'm really am kind of getting to with the Hierophant again. A need to maybe just like finding a way to just remove ourselves from this situation for a bit, and really kind of meditate as far as like, because I feel like it's like how we're thinking. Maybe we don't see the way that how to get out of this thing is because we're thinking in a too rigid of a state. You know, it's just that this situation is just keeping you from really kind of thinking outside of the box here. You know, I feel like we're kind of like, it's very interesting, Taurus, but I feel like it's going to be something where, yeah, if we want to get to the state of happiness and the state of just like things getting back to normal, then, because you know the Ten of Cups is Mars and Pisces. You know, it's taking actions towards your dreams. You know, towards what like fulfillment and like happiness and peace looks like for you, Mark. All right, Taurus. Let's get some tea, and then let's get your last card here. Interesting. Thank you. All right, Taurus. So last card here. You got the third card of Pisces, which is the roundabout card. And with this card, this is a card of community, connections, new direction, keep it moving, controls the flow of information, solutions, circular reasoning, fluid, many working parts, perfect timing, and redirect. And the energy that's coming through here, Taurus, is a new direction. And you know, I feel like it's one of those things that it's like we're getting all of these messages that are all the signs are telling us that we need to. I'm almost getting like chariot energy kind of coming through, that we need to move this thing. Things have gotten off track and we need to move this thing back into our direction here. Let's put you front and center here. Move towards what brings us this sense of security and things, but in order to do that, we have to break out of this cycle, whatever this is, you know, this discord, this, you know, and again, this could be, you know, because a Hierophant could deal with relationships. You know, maybe this is a relationship, a marriage, a roommate thing, a living situation, a job, and even just again, people with the Seven of Wands, people may feel some kind of way about it, but again, this is your journey. You know, this is not about anyone else but you. And if it's not, you know, if we find ourselves in some sort of like, again, some sort of toxic situation or something along those lines that are just keeps just lowering your vibration, Taurus, you know, I feel like higher self is trying to make a move, but it's only, you have to, it's one thing to know all this stuff, Taurus, but at some point we can't complain about a situation if we're not taking action, if we're dragging our feet on this thing. Because one thing with the Hierophant, and I'm just thinking about with the Thoth deck, one thing they talk about with the Hierophant is that he makes a move every like 2,000 years or something like that. And I feel like we're kind of dragging our feet on this, Taurus. It's just like, I don't know, like there's this, because it partway kind of feels like a stubbornness, but not because you want to be stubborn. It's just like you feel like you have to do this, or maybe you have to tough this out, or something along those lines. But let's get some tarot on this. All right, Taurus, last little bit here. That's funny. I was just thinking about Mercury. So you have the interesting Taurus, both your So you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the Magician Mercury, and then the King of Swords upright. All right, let's switch back over, because you got both your Ten of Pentacles and your Ten of Cups are in reverse here, Taurus, and I feel that the question is just like thinking about, because Mercury just went retrograde a few days ago, depending on when you're watching this, and it's Mercury, it's retrograding in Virgo, and I feel that it's thinking about how your day-to-day routine is, and thinking about, is this really where you kind of want life to be right now? Is this where you saw is this getting you towards a solid foundation with the Ten of Pentacles, leading to your happiness with the Ten of Cups here? And I feel like really kind of thinking and reflecting on this stuff here with the King of Swords, and realizing too that with the Magician, Taurus, you do have all the tools and the power that you need to change things up. We may be doubting that with the Queen of Pentacles being in reverse right now, but you are able to get through this, and this might be something where, just even thinking with Libra energy, maybe we need to reach out to someone. Maybe we can get some advice from maybe like a friend, or maybe like I don't know, maybe even like this could be maybe even we're like kind of crowdsourcing on the internet, maybe starting like a blog or something along those lines, just any sort of ways, like creative ways to kind of see if there's any sort of like assistance that we can do to get out of this, or whatever this may be. And this is something with like a relationship, that's where that can be tough. It's going to, for example, when I decided to get out of my to end my marriage, I had it wasn't that things were bad or anything along those lines. It's just that I wasn't working towards where I wanted to go, and that it wasn't, I needed to take action and things. And it's been a journey trying to get things back in balance, but it's possible. And it's taught me how resourceful I can be, and I feel like that's something where too, Taurus, you can learn a lot about yourself when you really take actions for you, and really think about what what would make you happy and what would make you feel stable in the long run here. And even thinking with the Ten of Pentacles, that's Mercury in Virgo. Mercury's in Virgo right now. It's a lot of thinking energy. I feel like even comes through. It's the King of Swords, that's Gemini energy. You got a lot, I feel like, to just kind of reflect on and ruminate and get a game plan there, Taurus. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And more so just to let other Taurians know too that it's just like, we're all trying to figure this thing out, and trying to bring, it can be difficult to, to bring that peace and to take those new directions, but it does lead to that sense of freedom, because you're only as restricted as you feel, like what, as far as like, what you're, again, like I was talking about, where there's a will, there's a way there, Taurus. But and then share this if you know someone who might be going through like a tough situation, maybe needs some just a little motivation, or maybe just need just I don't know, Taurus, just share this. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans even when they're Pisces. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you some prize cards here so I can get you out of here. And you got the Page of Cups in reverse here, Taurus. And I feel like for some, it's just like we've been really kind of neglecting our feelings, as far as like, I feel like as far as like starting up something new. It's just, or taking this action, it's just like we're like, it's like we gotta like tough this out or something along those lines. And And it's like it's going against what we really feel. Like we want this sense of freedom. We want to kind of break free, but and I almost even feel like for some, maybe it's just like we feel that we're just being too, maybe either too sensitive or maybe too emotional about this or something. But I don't know, Taurus. It doesn't feel like that. You know, it's and I just feel like there may be a need to just kind of reevaluate where our like not motivation, but like our perspective or something along those lines. But let me get your oracle card here. Thank you. All right, Taurus. So you got the create card in reverse. And I feel like that for some, it's just like maybe we don't feel we can get out of this, that we don't have the either the resources or the tools or whatever this is. But if we keep telling ourselves that, then that is what's going to be true. You know, it's just like our thoughts are very powerful, Taurus. And yeah, if we're operating from this place of if we don't believe in ourselves, then it limits our view and how we can see things. But I feel like deep down you know that you can do this, and I feel like it's just that it's like maybe it's the there's maybe a little bit of fear as far as just like making these moves because it's just because you're a sign of security too, and you know you want a solid foundation. I get that. My sun signs in Cancer. You know we're all about that emotional security. We really kind of favor each other in that sense. It's a little different, but security is very important for our signs. But I feel like it's in the short term, it might be uncomfortable, but in the long term, you're going to get to you. Because even though the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles are in reverse right now, that doesn't mean you can't flip that stuff up right there, Taurus. So, I even this chills just thinking about that. So, and now my Cancer's getting ready to show, Taurus. So let me get you out of here, get you thinking. So, I tell you, a few signs have been doing that. But you stay safe out there, Taurus, with whatever situation that you're in, and know that you can take life in a new direction, and that you can get your sense of freedom back. All right, so that's enough of that, Taurus. Stop that. You raise your vibration through the roof. And that might be something too, Taurus. Maybe we just really just need to take a break for a little bit. Just kind of get out of this, find a way to remove ourselves so that we can maybe think about this from a different perspective, you know, kind of freshen up our view here. Maybe get on a hot air balloon, Taurus. I don't know. But I will get you on the next one later.